The bank called me and said, "I don't think that's you. Your husband is here right now with a woman who looks just like you." I replied, "That's impossible. He's on a business trip in Las Vegas." The voice said, "Please come in right away." Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear my story. If you're comfortable, let me know where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you my story. I was in the middle of reviewing surgical schedules when my cell phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hospital administrators get spam calls constantly. But something made me pick up. "This is Naomi Carter." "Mrs. Carter, this is Linda Thompson from First National Bank." Linda. I knew Linda. She'd been handling my accounts for 6 years, ever since Darius and I had moved our banking to First National. Pleasant woman, always professional, remembered my kids' names. "Hi Linda, is there a problem with one of our accounts?" "Mrs. Carter, I'm calling because there's a situation at the bank that requires your immediate attention." Her voice was tight, stressed, not her usual warm tone. "What kind of situation?" "Someone is here right now attempting to make a large withdrawal from your joint savings account." "Okay, is their identification not checking out?" "The identification is checking out." "That's the problem." I didn't understand. "I'm sorry." "What?" "Mrs. Carter, your husband is here. Darius Carter, with a woman who is claiming to be you." I laughed. It was such an absurd statement that laughter was my first response. "That's impossible. My husband is on a business trip in Las Vegas. He left Sunday morning. He won't be back until Friday." "Ma'am, I'm looking at him right now. He's standing at the teller counter with a woman who has your driver's license, your social security card, and she looks remarkably like you." My laughter died. "What?" "They're attempting to withdraw $75,000 in cash from your joint savings account. I've stalled them by saying we need additional verification for such a large withdrawal. But Mrs. Carter, I need you to come to the bank immediately." "Linda, that can't be Darius. I'm telling you, he's in Las Vegas. He's been texting me from there." "Mrs. Carter, I've been your banker for 6 years. I know your husband. I've processed transactions for him dozens of times. It's him." My heart started pounding. "You're sure?" "I'm positive. Please come in right away. This woman has identification showing her name as Naomi Carter. If this is fraud, we need to involve law enforcement immediately." "I'm leaving now." I hung up, grabbed my purse, and told my assistant Sarah there was an emergency. She knew better than to ask questions in hospital administration. Emergencies happen. I practically ran to my car in the parking garage, my mind spinning. Darius is in Las Vegas. I took him to the airport Sunday morning, watched him check in. He's been texting me. I pulled out my phone while sitting in my car scrolling through our messages. Sunday 10:47 a.m. Landed safely. Conference starts tomorrow. Love you. Monday 6:23 p.m. Long day of meetings. Miss you and the kids. Don't wait up. Tuesday morning 8:15 a.m. Another full day scheduled. Dinner with clients tonight. Call you later. All from his phone number. All completely normal. But Linda said he was at the bank. Right now, with a woman who looked like me. I started the car and drove. First National Bank was 15 minutes from Grady Memorial Hospital where I worked. I made it in 12, breaking several speed limits. The parking lot looked normal. Tuesday afternoon, a few cars, people going about their banking business. Then I saw it, Darius's car. His black Mercedes SUV with the vanity plate D's Carter 1. The car he'd driven to the airport Sunday morning. The car that should be in long-term parking at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, but it was here. In this parking lot. I pulled into a space, my hands shaking so badly I could barely turn off the ignition. This wasn't possible. There had to be an explanation. Maybe it wasn't his car. Maybe someone else had the same model, similar plates. But I knew that car, the small dent in the rear bumper from when Kyle had hit it with his bike, the Howard University alumni sticker in the window. It was Darius's car, which meant Darius was here. Not in Las Vegas. I walked toward the bank entrance feeling like I was moving through water. Everything seemed surreal, distant. The door chimed as I entered. The familiar bank lobby teller windows on the right, private offices on the left, ATMs along the back wall. Linda Thompson saw me immediately. She was in her 50s, black woman with graying hair she wore in a neat bun, always dressed professionally. Today she looked stressed, worried. She rushed over to me. "Mrs. Carter, thank God you're here." "Where is he?" My voice didn't sound like my own. I moved them to a consultation room in the back. Told them we needed additional verification for such a large cash withdrawal. "They're waiting there now." I need to see him. I need to see if it's really Darius. Before you do that, I need you to look through this window. Linda led me down a hallway to a door marked security. Inside was a small room with monitors showing different angles of the bank. But there was also a window, one-way glass that looked into one of the private consultation rooms. Look, Linda said quietly. I looked through the glass, and my world stopped. It was Darius. Definitely, unmistakably Darius Carter. My husband of 18 years. 45 years old, tall, fit, handsome, wearing one of his expensive suits, the charcoal gray one I'd helped him pick out last month. Sitting next to him was a woman, a black woman who looked like me, not exactly like me, but similar enough that from a distance, with the right lighting, someone might mistake her for me. Same complexion, that warm brown tone I'd inherited from my mother. Same build, average height, curvy. Same hairstyle, short natural hair, tapered cut. She was even wearing clothes similar to what I typically wore. Navy blue blazer. Simple jewelry. They were sitting close together. Darius had his hand on her knee. Casual, comfortable, like they'd done this 1,000 times. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. That's him, I whispered. That's my husband. And the woman? I've never seen her before in my life. Linda's expression was grim. She presented a driver's license with her photo showing the name Naomi Carter, social security card, even a debit card to your joint savings account. How is that possible? That's what we need to figure out. Because Mrs. Carter, if this is identity theft, we're talking about serious fraud. My mind was trying to process what I was seeing. Darius was supposed to be in Las Vegas. But he was here, with a woman impersonating me, trying to withdraw $75,000. Linda, what exactly were they trying to do? Withdraw $75,000 in cash. Your joint savings account currently has $180,000 in it. I stared at her. What? That can't be right. We have about $40,000 in that account. Linda looked confused. Mrs. Carter, when was the last time you checked the balance? I don't know. A few months. Darius handles our savings. I focus on our checking account for household expenses. The savings is for long-term college funds, retirement emergencies. Come with me. Linda led me to a computer terminal. Logged into the bank's system, pulled up our joint savings account, current balance, $190,024 net. I stared at the number. That can't be right. Look at the transaction history. She scrolled through the account. I saw my deposits, my hospital paychecks, my quarterly bonuses, my overtime payments, all going into our checking account, with transfers to savings. But there were other deposits. Large deposits I didn't recognize. 6 months ago, $35,000 deposit. 4 months ago, $48,000 deposit. 3 months ago, $52,000 deposit. 2 months ago, $75,000 deposit. 6 weeks ago, $37,000 deposit. Where did this money come from? I asked. According to the deposit records, they were all cashier's checks from various sources. Your husband made these deposits? $247,000 in deposits. I knew nothing about. But there were also withdrawals. Linda scrolled down. Look at this. Withdrawals over the past 6 months. The $5,000 withdrawal 4 months ago. $8,000 withdrawal 3 months ago. $12,000 withdrawal 3 months ago. $10,000 withdrawal 2 months ago. $7,000 withdrawal 6 weeks ago. $15,000 withdrawal 4 weeks ago. $10,000 withdrawal 2 weeks ago. On and on. Dozens of withdrawals ranging from $3,000 to $15,000. Total withdrawn $67,000. I never made any of these withdrawals. I said. I know. Because look at this. Linda pulled up security footage. Showed me a woman at the teller window. The same woman who was sitting with Darius right now. She was wearing a blazer similar to mine. Had her hair styled like mine. Was smiling at the teller like she belonged there. That's her, Linda said. That woman has been coming to this bank for 6 months, impersonating you, making withdrawals. We have 3 branches in Atlanta. She's used all of them. Always different tellers who don't know you well. Always with your ID, your social security card, your debit card. She's stolen $67,000 from your account over 6 months. I couldn't breathe. And Darius. Darius has been with her? Not always. Sometimes she comes alone. But I pulled footage from other transactions. He's been with her at least a dozen times. Linda's expression was sympathetic but firm. Mrs. Carter, your husband has been systematically stealing from your joint account using this impersonator. Today they were going for another 75,000. If I hadn't recognized that something was wrong, they would have cleaned out most of your savings. I need to call the police, I said. I already did. They're on their way. How did you know something was wrong? Linda smiled slightly. You've been banking with me for 6 years. I know you. Your voice, your mannerisms, the way you sign documents. That woman walked in here today, and something felt off. She looked like you, but she wasn't you. Plus your husband seemed nervous. Too eager, kept checking his watch. Red flags. So I stalled them. Told them I needed manager approval for such a large withdrawal. Brought them to the consultation room. Then I called you. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you for noticing. I'm sorry this is happening, but Mrs. Carter, there's something else you need to know. What? Those deposits. The $247,000 that appeared in your account over the past year and a half. Where do you think that money came from? I assumed it was from Darius's work. Bonuses, commissions, something. Does your husband make that kind of money? I thought about it. Darius worked for Wellington Financial, a corporate finance firm. He was a senior financial advisor, made good money, around $120,000 a year base salary, plus bonuses, but $47,000 in extra deposits, that was more than his annual salary. I don't know where it came from, I admitted. When the police get here, you need to ask him, because Mrs. Carter, that much money appearing unexplained in an account could interest the IRS. Or worse, if it's illegal money. I felt sick. The door to the security room opened. 2 Atlanta Police Department officers entered. One was a black man in his 40s, introduced himself as Detective Marcus Johnson. The other was a younger black woman, Officer Taylor Williams. Mrs. Carter, I'm Detective Johnson. Linda briefed us on the situation. We need to understand exactly what's happening here. I explained everything. The Las Vegas business trip, the texts, the bank call, Darius's car in the parking lot, the woman impersonating me. And you've never seen this woman before? Never. But she has your identification? Apparently. I don't know how she got it. Detective Johnson looked at the security footage. This is identity theft, fraud, possibly embezzlement depending on the account structure. We need to arrest both of them. Mrs. Carter, do you want to confront your husband first? Or should we just make the arrest? I thought about Jasmine and Kyle at home. Our kids, 16 and 14 years old. Their father was about to be arrested for fraud. They deserve to know why. I deserve to know why. I want to confront him. I need to hear what he has to say. All right, we'll be right outside the consultation room. You go in, talk to him. When you're ready for us to intervene, just open the door. Linda led us down the hallway. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. She opened the door to the consultation room. I walked in. Darius looked up, saw me. His face went completely white. For 5 seconds nobody moved. Darius stared at me like I was a ghost. His mouth opened but no sound came out. The woman, Simone, I'd learned her name was Simone Wallace, looked confused, then panicked. Naomi, Darius finally managed to say, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? My voice was remarkably calm given that my entire world was crumbling. I worked 10 minutes away, Darius. The bank called me, said my husband was here with a woman pretending to be me, trying to withdraw $75,000 from our savings. So I came. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Las Vegas. Darius stood up, his hands raised in a placating gesture. Baby, I can explain. Don't you baby me. Who is this woman? Simone also stood, backing toward the wall. Her voice was higher than mine, nervous. Darius, you said she wouldn't find out. I wouldn't find out. I turned to her. About what? About my husband stealing from our joint account? About you impersonating me for 6 months? About whatever the hell is going on here? Darius stepped between us. Naomi, please just listen to me for a minute. I saw the security footage. 6 months. You've been coming to this bank with this woman, stealing from our savings. $67,000 gone. Our kids' college fund, our retirement savings. How long has this been happening? Simone's voice was defensive. I'm not an impersonator. Darius loves me. Tell her, Darius. Tell her about us. The room tilted. About us? I repeated slowly. Darius closed his eyes. He looked defeated. How long? I asked quietly. How long have you been having an affair? The silence stretched for an eternity. 2 years. I sat down. My legs wouldn't hold me anymore. 2 years. While I'd been working 60-hour weeks at the hospital, while I'd been raising our children, while I'd been celebrating anniversaries and planning our future. 2 years of lies. Who is she? I asked. Simone spoke up, her voice taking on a defiant edge. I'm Simone Wallace. I work at Darius's company, and we're in love. We have a connection you and Darius never had. I looked at Darius. Your assistant? You're having an affair with your assistant? That's such a cliché I almost want to laugh. It's not like that. Then what is it like? You're stealing from me to fund your affair? Where did the $67,000 go? Darius wouldn't meet my eyes. Simone answered, her tone proud. Darius bought me a condo. Downtown, we needed to furnish it, decorate it, make it our space. He takes care of me. I stared at her. With my money, with our joint savings, money I earned working overtime shifts, money I saved for our children's education. You bought your mistress a condo with our savings? It's not like that, Darius said weakly. Then what is it like? Explain it to me. Make me understand how this isn't exactly what it looks like. Simone held out her left hand. On her ring finger was a massive diamond engagement ring. Easily 3 carats. Beautiful. Expensive. We're getting married, she said. As soon as Darius divorces you, we're building a life together. I felt like I'd been slapped. That's what today's $75,000 was for, Simone continued. Our wedding and honeymoon. We're going to Bali. Darius promised me a dream wedding. I looked at the ring, at her smug expression, at Darius, who still wouldn't meet my eyes. You bought her an engagement ring, with our money. I was going to tell you, Darius finally said. I was going to ask for a divorce. I just needed to get the finances in order first. Get the finances in order? You mean steal everything we had so I'd be left with nothing? It's not stealing. His voice rose, defensive. It's our joint account. Half of that money is legally mine, but I'm the one who put most of it in there. My salary, my bonuses, my overtime. You make good money, Darius, but I make more. I always have. And I've been putting it in our joint savings for our family, for our future. And you've been stealing it to buy your mistress a condo and an engagement ring. You always rubbed it in my face. Darius shouted, you make more than me. You're the big hospital administrator. Everyone knows Naomi Carter, the important executive, and what am I, just a financial advisor, making less than my wife? I deserve nice things too. I deserve to be taken care of. So you stole from your own family? Linda opened the door, stepped inside. Mrs. Carter, there's something else we need to discuss. The deposits. I'd almost forgotten about the mysterious $47,000 in deposits. Darius, where did that money come from? $247,000 deposited to our savings over the past 18 months. That's more than your annual salary. He went pale again. Where did it come from? I don't have to answer that. Linda pulled up the account on her tablet, showed it to me. These deposits, $35,000, $48,000, $52,000, $75,000, $37,000. All cashier's checks. Where did this money come from? I looked at Darius, really looked at him, at the guilt in his eyes, at the way he was shifting his weight, looking for an exit. You're embezzling, I said quietly. From Wellington Financial, you're stealing from your company. I'm not stealing. I work hard. I deserve more than they pay me. So you've been embezzling money from your company, depositing it in our joint savings, then stealing it back out with your mistress to fund your affair. Detective Johnson stepped into the room. He'd been listening from the hallway. Mr. Carter, I strongly suggest you stop talking. You're digging yourself deeper. Who are you? Detective Marcus Johnson, Atlanta PD. And based on what I've just heard, you're under arrest. Darius's eyes went wide. Arrested? For what? For starters? Fraud? Identity theft. Your girlfriend here has been impersonating your wife for 6 months. That's illegal. And this business about embezzling from your company, that's a whole other set of charges that I'm sure your employer will be very interested in pursuing. Officer Williams stepped forward with handcuffs. Darius Carter, you're under arrest for fraud and identity theft. You have the right to remain silent. Simone started screaming. Wait. I didn't know it was illegal. Darius said it was okay. He said it was his money. He could use it however he wanted. Simone Wallace, you're also under arrest for fraud and identity theft. But I didn't do anything. Darius gave me the fake ID. He told me to pretend to be her. I was just doing what he said. Officer Williams cuffed her too, reading her Miranda rights over her protests. I stood there watching my husband of 18 years get arrested, watching him get handcuffed, watching his mistress get handcuffed, both of them being led out through the bank lobby. The humiliation walk, past tellers, past customers, past people we probably knew. Darius wouldn't look at anyone. His head was down, his expensive suit rumpled from the cuffs. Simone was still protesting loudly. This is a mistake. I'm a victim here. Darius tricked me. They were put in separate police cars, driven away, and I was left standing in the consultation room with Linda, feeling like my entire life had just collapsed. Mrs. Carter, Linda said gently, sit down, you're in shock. I sat, my hands were shaking, my whole body was shaking. What happens now? The police will investigate. They'll look into the embezzlement allegations. If your husband was stealing from Wellington Financial, they'll press charges. What about the money? The $67,000 they already stole? That's a civil matter. You'll need to sue him in divorce proceedings to recover it. But honestly, Mrs. Carter, if he's got criminal charges pending, bankruptcy, legal fees, you might not see much of it. And the $247,000 he deposited, the embezzled money, that's complicated. If the police can prove it came from Wellington Financial, the company will have legal claims on it. They might freeze the account, recover the funds. I felt sick. So I might end up with nothing. Even though I was the victim, I'm sorry, but that's a possibility. I've frozen your joint savings account for now. No one can access it until the police investigation is complete. But Mrs. Carter, you need to talk to a divorce lawyer. Today, you need to protect yourself. I nodded numbly. Linda handed me a business card. This is Rachel Martinez, best divorce attorney in Atlanta. Tell her I sent you. She'll take care of you. I don't remember driving home. 1 minute I was at the bank. The next I was sitting in my car in my driveway, staring at my house, the house Darius and I had bought 12 years ago, where we'd raised Jasmine and Kyle, where we'd celebrated holidays and birthdays and anniversaries, all built on lies. I walked inside. It was just after 4 p.m. The kids would be home from school soon. I needed to figure out what to tell them. Your father is in jail. He was arrested for fraud. He's been having an affair for 2 years. He stole from our savings to buy his mistress a condo. He's been embezzling from his company. How do you tell your children that? I sat at the kitchen table, my head in my hands, trying to process everything. My phone buzzed. Multiple messages from unknown numbers. I ignored them. Then a text from Jasmine. Mom, where's Dad? His office called looking for him. They sound mad. Wellington Financial had probably discovered the embezzlement. The front door opened. Jasmine and Kyle came in, backpacks slung over their shoulders. Mom, you're home early. What's wrong? I looked at my children. Jasmine, 16, beautiful, smart, with her father's eyes and my smile. Kyle, 14, all elbows and attitude and teenage bravado. They were about to learn that their father was a criminal. Sit down, both of you. We need to talk. I told them as simply as I could. Dad wasn't in Las Vegas. He'd been lying about the business trip. He'd been having an affair with someone from his office. He'd been stealing money. He'd been arrested at the bank today. Jasmine started crying immediately. No, you're lying. Dad wouldn't do that. I saw it myself, baby. The police arrested him. He's been lying to all of us for years. Kyle was angry. That's bullshit. You're making it up. Dad would never cheat on you. Kyle, language. And I'm not making it up. I wish I was. Where is he now? Jail. They arrested him for fraud. We have to help him, Jasmine said. We have to bail him out. I don't know if we can. I don't know what his bail will be. I don't know if we even have money for bail. What do you mean? How do you explain embezzlement and frozen bank accounts to teenagers? Your father took money that wasn't his. A lot of money. The police are investigating. Our bank accounts are frozen. I don't know what our financial situation is right now. What's going to happen to us? Kyle asked. And beneath the anger I heard fear. We'll be okay. I promise. I still have my job. We still have this house. We'll figure it out. What's going to happen to Dad? I don't know. He might go to prison. Jasmine sobbed harder. Kyle punched the wall, leaving a small dent in the drywall. Kyle, this is so fucked up. He stormed upstairs to his room. I heard his door slam. Jasmine was still crying. I held her while she cried, feeling helpless. My phone rang. I saw the caller ID, Wellington Financial. I need to take this, I told Jasmine. I answered. This is Naomi Carter. Mrs. Carter, this is Donald Wellington, CEO of Wellington Financial. I need to speak with you about your husband. He was arrested today. I'm aware. My company has been conducting an internal audit for the past 2 weeks. We've discovered significant financial irregularities tied to your husband's client accounts. How much? Approximately $312,000 has been misappropriated over the past 18 months. $312,000. More than the $207,000 in our savings account. He'd stolen more than he'd deposited. We'll be filing criminal charges. Donald continued. We'll also be pursuing civil remedies to recover the funds. Mrs. Carter, I need to ask you directly. Did you know about this? No. I had no idea. I just found out today that there was money in our savings account I didn't know about. I didn't know where it came from. The money in your joint savings account came from my company. From our clients. Your husband was stealing from them. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. We'll need to freeze that account and recover the funds. You understand? Yes. I'm sorry you're caught up in this, Mrs. Carter. But your husband has committed serious crimes against this company and our clients. He hung up. I sat at the kitchen table, holding my phone, feeling like I was drowning. $312,000 stolen. Our savings account frozen, criminal charges pending, divorce inevitable. My entire life had imploded in the space of 3 hours. That night, I barely slept. I lay in bed, the bed Darius and I had shared for 18 years, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything I'd missed. 2 years of affairs. How had I not seen it? I thought about the late nights, the business trips, the times he'd been distant, distracted. I'd attributed it to work stress, to the normal ups and downs of a long marriage. I'd never suspected another woman, and the embezzling. $312,000 stolen from his company over 18 months. He'd been depositing it in our joint savings, probably planning to take it all eventually, run away with Simone, start a new life, but he'd gotten greedy. Started using the money before he'd fully extracted himself from our marriage. Bought Simone a condo. Bought her an engagement ring. Spent $67,000 of stolen money on his affair. And I'd had no idea. Around 2 a.m., my phone lit up with a call from Fulton County Jail. An automated message. You have a collect call from an inmate. Press 1 to accept. I almost didn't press it. Almost hung up. But I pressed 1. Naomi. Darius's voice. Strained. Exhausted. What do you want? I need you to bail me out. They set bail at $50,000. I need $5,000 cash for the bondsman. No. What? No, I'm not bailing you out. You're a criminal. You belong in jail. Naomi, please. I'm your husband. You're my soon-to-be ex-husband. You're a cheater, an embezzler, a fraud. Why would I help you? Because of the kids. Jasmine and Kyle need their father. They needed their father not to be a criminal. But you made your choices. I'll explain everything. Just get me out of here and I'll tell you why I did it. I don't care why you did it. You did it. That's enough. The wedding ring was for you, he blurted out. I was going to renew our vows. The condo was going to be a vacation place for our family. I laughed bitterly. You're lying even now. Simone told me the ring was for her. That you're getting married as soon as you divorce me. She's lying. She's trying to trap me. Darius! Stop. Just stop. I saw the security footage. 6 months of you and her coming to the bank together. Stealing from our account. You were all in on this together. What happens now? Now you face the consequences of your actions. You'll be prosecuted for embezzlement and fraud. You'll probably go to prison. And I'm filing for divorce. You'll never touch another penny of my money. Naomi, wait. I hung up, blocked the jail's number so he couldn't call again. And finally, I let myself cry. The next morning, I called the divorce attorney Linda had recommended, Rachel Martinez. She agreed to see me that day. Emergency appointment. Her office was in Buckhead. Sleek and professional. Rachel was in her 50s. Latina with an air of competence that immediately made me feel safer. Tell me everything. I told her. The affair. The embezzlement. The arrest. The frozen accounts. Rachel took notes. Her expression neutral. When I finished, she sat back. Naomi, I'm going to be honest with you. Your husband destroyed your financial security. The $247,000 in your joint savings. Wellington Financial is going to sue to recover it. It's their money that Darius stole. You won't see any of it. The $67,000 he already spent. Some might be recoverable from the condo sale, but don't count on it. And here's the bigger problem. Darius is facing criminal charges. That means legal fees. Lots of legal fees. If he's convicted, he'll have restitution to pay. He might declare bankruptcy. Which means even if you're awarded money in the divorce, You won't be able to collect. I felt sick. So I lose everything. Not everything. Your retirement accounts are in your name only. Correct? Yes. About 120,000. Those are protected. He can't touch them. What about the house? We own it jointly. We owe about 200,000 on the mortgage. The house is worth maybe 450,000, so there's 250,000 in equity. In a divorce, you'd normally split that, but given the circumstances we can argue you should get more than half. The condo he bought for his mistress, that was purchased with marital funds, you own half of it. We'll force a sale and you get 50% of the proceeds. But Naomi, realistically, after legal fees, after the house split, after everything, you're going to come out of this divorce with maybe 200,000 in assets. Maybe less. That's it? After 18 years of marriage, your husband spent your money on his mistress and then got caught embezzling. Yes, that's it. What about child support? Custody. Full custody shouldn't be hard. He's facing criminal charges. You'll get custody of both kids. Child support depends on his income, but if he goes to prison he won't have income. You won't see much there either. I sat in her office trying to process the magnitude of what Darius had done. He'd betrayed me. He'd stolen from his company. He'd spent our savings on his mistress. And now I was left to pick up the pieces financially, while he went to prison. File for divorce, I said. Today, I want him served in jail. Rachel smiled grimly. That I can do. Over the next few weeks, the investigation unfolded. Wellington Financial's internal audit revealed that Darius had been systematically siphoning money from client investment accounts for 18 months. He'd use his access to client funds to transfer money to various accounts he controlled, then deposit cashier's checks into our joint savings. The total stolen, $312,000. The company filed criminal charges. The district attorney added additional charges: fraud, embezzlement, wire fraud, money laundering. Darius's attorney tried to negotiate a plea deal. Meanwhile, Simone Wallace also got arrested on additional charges. She'd known the money was stolen. She'd participated willingly. She'd helped Darius create the fake IDs to impersonate me. She was facing 3 to 5 years. Darius was facing much more. 10 years minimum if convicted on all charges. His attorney came back with a plea offer. 8 years in exchange for guilty pleas on the major charges. Darius took it. He didn't have a choice. The evidence was overwhelming. I filed for divorce, had him served in jail. His attorney tried to fight for joint custody of the kids. Rachel shot that down immediately. Your client is going to federal prison. He won't have custody of anyone. The condo he'd bought Simone, turned out he'd put it in both their names. But since it was purchased with stolen and marital funds, the court ordered it sold. It sold for $170,000. After the sale costs, we netted $160,000. I got half, $80,000. The house we owned together, we sold it. After paying off the mortgage and split the equity, I got $125,000. My retirement accounts, $120,000. All mine. Total $325,000. After 18 years of marriage, after working my ass off to build our savings, after everything Darius had stolen and squandered, I was left with $325,000. It wasn't nothing, but it wasn't the secure future I'd been building toward. I bought a smaller house in a different neighborhood. 3 bedrooms, nice enough for me and the kids. Used up most of my divorce settlement as down payment. Started over at 42. 6 months after Darius's arrest, he was sentenced. 8 years in federal prison. He'd serve at least 6 before parole eligibility. I didn't go to the sentencing. Didn't want to see him, but Jasmine and Kyle wanted to say goodbye to their father. I let them go with my sister. They came back quiet. Sad, he cried. Jasmine told me. He said he was sorry. He said he never meant to hurt us. Did you forgive him? I don't know. He's still my dad. But what he did was really bad. Yeah? Kyle said. He's an asshole. But he's our asshole, I guess. The kids started therapy. They needed help processing their father's betrayal, his incarceration, the divorce. I started therapy too, because I was angry, furious, at Darius for destroying our family, at myself for not seeing it sooner. The therapist helped me understand. I hadn't missed anything. Darius had been a skilled liar. He'd compartmentalized his life. I'd trusted him because trust is what you do in a marriage, but my trust had been misplaced. Slowly, painfully, we started to heal. Jasmine threw herself into school. Got accepted to Georgia Tech. I had money saved for college in a separate account. Darius never knew about. Thank God. Kyle struggled more, angry at his father, angry at the world. But therapy was helping. And me? I was surviving. I got a promotion at work. More responsibility, more money. I needed it. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just remembering what it felt like to be appreciated, valued, treated well. I was building a new life. Not the life I'd planned, but a life nonetheless. 1 year after the bank call that changed everything, I found myself back at First National Bank. Linda Thompson greeted me with a warm smile. Noemi, how are you? I'm good. Really good, actually. I heard about the divorce. I'm sorry. Don't be best thing that ever happened to me. I was opening a new savings account, just in my name, this time. No joint accounts, no one else's hands in my money. New beginning, Linda said, processing my paperwork. Yes. Finally. How are the kids? They're okay. Jasmine's thriving at Georgia Tech. Kyle's doing better, still in therapy but making progress. And Darius? In prison. 6 more years. The kids visit him occasionally. I don't. Linda nodded, understanding. You know, I still think about that day, when I called you. I almost didn't. Almost just processed the withdrawal. Why didn't you? Because something felt wrong. That woman looked like you but wasn't you. And your husband seemed nervous, desperate. I trust my gut. And my gut said this wasn't right. You saved me, Linda. If you'd processed that withdrawal, they would have gotten away with $75,000, plus the $67,000 they'd already stolen. I would have been left with almost nothing. Instead, you called me, you caught them, you made sure they faced consequences. Just doing my job. No. You went above and beyond. You cared enough to notice something was wrong. We finished the account setup. I deposited my first payment into my new savings account. $5,000. Starting fresh. Building back. The bank gave you a reward, right? Linda asked. For preventing the fraud? Yes. $5,000. That's what I'm depositing. Good? Use it to build something better. That's exactly what I'm doing. That evening, I was home with Jasmine and Kyle. We were making dinner together, spaghetti, nothing fancy, but it was our thing now. Tuesday night family dinners. Kyle was telling a terrible joke. Something about a cow and a chicken. The punchline made no sense, but we laughed anyway. Jasmine was talking about her engineering classes. Excited about a project she was working on. Normal family moments. The kind we hadn't had when Darius was around, because even before the arrest, even before I'd known about the affair, things hadn't been normal. Darius had been distant, distracted, living a double life. Now, with him gone, we were finding our rhythm. Just the 3 of us. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me check. It was from Darius. From prison. Somehow he'd gotten access to a phone or found a way to text. Naomi, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please bring the kids to visit. I miss you all so much. I made a terrible mistake. Can we start over when I get out? I read it twice. Then I blocked the number. No. We couldn't start over. We weren't starting anything. I was done with Darius Carter. Done with his lies. Done with his betrayals. Done with his attempts to manipulate me. I'd spent 18 years being his wife. I'd spent the past year picking up the pieces of what he'd destroyed. Now I was building something new. Something honest. Something he couldn't touch. Mom, you okay? Jasmine asked. Yeah, baby. I'm great. Who was texting? Nobody important. I'm Naomi Carter. I'm 43 years old now. A year and a half ago I got a phone call that changed my life. Mrs. Carter, your husband is here at the bank with a woman who looks just like you. I'd replied, that's impossible. He's on a business trip in Las Vegas, but he wasn't. He was in Atlanta, with his mistress, who'd been impersonating me for 6 months, stealing from our joint savings. $67,000 gone? Another $75,000 they were trying to take that day. The bank teller noticed something was wrong. Made one phone call, saved me from financial ruin. The police arrested Darius and Simone at the bank, caught them red-handed. Then the investigation revealed the full truth. Darius had been embezzling from his company, $312,000 stolen from client accounts. He deposited it in our joint savings, used it to buy his mistress a condo, an engagement ring, a life he was planning to start after divorcing me. 2 years of affairs I never knew about. 18 months of embezzlement I never suspected. He got 8 years in federal prison. She got 3 years. I filed for divorce, fought for every penny I could get. Walked away with $325,000 after 18 years of marriage. Not what I'd planned, not the secure future I'd been building, but enough to start over. I bought a smaller house, put my kids in therapy, got therapy myself, started rebuilding. Jasmine's thriving at Georgia Tech. Kyle's healing. I got promoted at work. We're surviving. More than surviving. We're living, honestly, openly, without the weight of Darius's lies dragging us down. My husband destroyed our family for an affair, stole from his company to fund his mistress's lifestyle. Got caught because one alert bank teller noticed something wasn't right. Now he's in prison, and I'm free. Free from his betrayal, free from his manipulation, free from wondering why I wasn't enough, because it was never about me. It was about him, his greed, his ego, his inability to be honest. I didn't cause his choices. I couldn't have prevented them. I can only control how I move forward, and I'm moving forward, building a life for me and my kids. A life based on truth, on hard work, on genuine love and respect. Darius tried to steal everything from me. My money, my dignity, my future, but one phone call stopped him. Mrs. Carter, I don't think that's you. Those words saved me, and I'll never forget Linda Thompson, the bank teller who trusted her gut, who called me instead of processing the withdrawal, who made sure justice was served. Sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they're just people doing their jobs with integrity and care. Linda was my hero that day, and now I'm my own hero. Rebuilding, surviving, thriving, 43 years old. Single mother. Hospital administrator, starting over. My husband's in prison. My savings are recovering. My kids are healing. And I'm living proof that you can survive betrayal. You can rebuild after devastation. You can create something better from the ashes of what was destroyed. That's my story. Not the one I wanted to tell, but the one I live, and I'm still living it. Still building, still moving forward. One day at a time, stronger than I ever knew I could be.